Terri, we're back again. Big questions, big news happened. You wouldn't believe it, but in the world today, a lot of people are changing jobs. And there's a million reasons why, but who cares? You care about when it happens is that, oh my gosh, somebody quit and now we got to replace it, and there's all a bunch of juggling going on. So what's the traditional way that things happen? If I were to walk in this morning and say, Terri, listen, it's really nice here. I like everybody that works, but today's my last day. What happens?
What happens in today's world? There's chaos that's going to happen because we're going to have to do a lot of things, not only for you as that individual who's going to be exiting, but we have to be thinking about and planning for how we're going to replace you. And we don't have a lot of great practices in place traditionally in businesses. So what we're going to do is we're going to partner with the talent acquisition team and try to get a job posting out there. So a lot of effort and work goes around to being able to interact with a lot of different people just to fill one open position.
Well, why don't people just hire from within? Seems like it makes more sense.
It makes perfect sense. A lot of times we're not capturing the data that we need to know who would be ready now for another position within the organization. We don't capture that data a lot. So from a succession planning perspective, it's usually a formalized process that's done at the highest levels in the organization, not deep down into where you actually need it, where you have the most turnover.
And it creates kind of office politics because other people vying for the position who may or may not be. So what if you did have good data? What would it look like if I came into your office and you did have all that, you kind of knew everything about the people underneath you? How would that look? How would that work? I walked into your office and I said, I quit, I'm done here.
It's beautiful when you have data because you're actually planning in advance. So if you'll share my screen, I will be able to, there we go. So succession planning, again, is one of the most valuable tools you can use in your organization because, again, it's the conversations about growth and development and talent mobility that help you actually engage the employees, but also get a better return on this process. Whenever you lose someone in your organization, like you said earlier, it's extremely costly for many, many reasons. So when you plan for that and you have the right people ready now to take on additional roles and responsibilities, you're so much farther ahead. So I'm with my screen. What you're looking at right here is an HR dashboard view of the top level of the organization. And I'm able to drill down.
And this is exactly how my screen would look if I was
the manager. Yep. If you're an HR professional or manager, this is how the screens will look. Top level, and you're able to then drill down. So if I, for example, I told you I was exiting the organization, we house readiness levels that you can view quickly. So you can see I'm currently well placed for my position. But if I was going to exit the organization, we would start looking farther down to say, is there anyone underneath me ready now for another position? And you can see by looking at the screen, just with the colors, we have somebody ready now, Rob Fazio. So instead of saying we're going to post my position and have to just guess at what we're going to get, we know internally we have someone ready now. But I can then, instead of just filling a position, what would happen in that snowball effect if I were to say Rob Fazio was ready for my job? Now I have a vacancy for Rob Fazio. So if I drill down into Rob's organization, he has two people that aren't ready now, but they're still 1.5 to 3 years out. So what we can really do is start to do talent plans for individuals and understand, should we be escalating, the talent plans for these individuals, or do we take a risk with these individuals? But we're able to make choices and decisions based on real-time data instead of just filling positions for the sake of filling the position.
And that real-time data, how can you trust that real-time data? Where does it come from? And how much work does it take me to get that real-time data as the manager?
So with our intHRaction tool, what we're doing is we're collecting real-time data from all the people that you interact with within the organization. So the value and the trust that comes with the data is coming from the people that you interact with the most. Your peers, your direct reports, your, superiors. So those awesome pieces of data actually are what build the trust and transparency in your organization.
Well, that is just awesome. It's like, It's actually impossible to run a business without data, and you HR people have been running that for forever.
Yeah.
What
It's tough. A lot of effort. 95% of HR people statistically right now are burned out, right? And the reason is because you're doing a lot from the gut. You're doing things that you're firefighting. You're trying to, the retention numbers are so low right now. So we're continuously just trying to hire for positions, and people are leaving faster than we can get them onboarded. And that's a huge challenge. And that's just a cycle you can't get out of until you actually step back and start to grow and develop people within your organization for other pieces. You want your own talent to be your pipeline, not continuously having to hire externally.
Well, that's just awesome. I learn every time I talk to you. Well, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you, Deej.
Take it easy.